Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode. Thank you for joining me. Let me get right into it. I received a text message from Dubs this morning, and he said, "Hey, man, I didn't have a spoon. I didn't have a fork when we had that fight in the chow hall. All I used was my left fist," he said. Now, I don't know why he had to specify that it was his left fist and not his right fist or whatever fist, because to me, whether it was your left fist, your right fist, a spoon, a fork, a fingernail, whatever, that shit hurt to push my tooth back. So, but whatever. So he said, man, but now even Bolo, who was there with us, he said, you can go look in the comments. Bolo commented on the video. He said, I remember that, man. Dude had a fork. He was trying to take your eye out. That's what Bolo said. But Dub said, man, I didn't have no weapon. He put that on his mama, rest in peace. I have to take him at his word after that. We all know how men are about our mothers. I lost my mother when I was in prison this last time. Don't even want to get into it right now because I will literally break down. And so just to squash that, I'm only making this video in response because I don't want to be going around talking about he used a weapon on me if he did not. I want to give him credit. That was all his left fist. That was all him. He did that. He packing that powerful punch. All right, let's clear that air. Before I move on, let me say one other thing. That my show, this channel, is for everyone. I believe that everyone can learn something from my story. Everyone, every race, every ethnic group. However, naturally, I'm targeting my people. I'm targeting young black men and older black men. Why? Well, because they're the ones that need the message the most. We are the ones that need the message the most. Hispanics need the message as well because they are now overpopulated in the penal system, overrepresented in the penal system. But still, black people, black men need to understand what leads us to prison to begin with. Oftentimes, it's because of trauma, childhood trauma, relationship trauma, and the trauma of living in a society that despises you, that hates you. This is what they do. They hate you. Do not allow the Black Lives Matter movement to fool you. Nothing has changed. They hate your guts. The penal system was designed with me and you in mind. They built the prison system with us in mind. And what happens is we have these traumas that we deal with daily in this country. We are slighted from the moment we wake up until the moment we go to bed. We are told that we are not men, we are emasculated, and we are dehumanized, sometimes in our own home, but certainly when we leave the home, it starts immediately. And we built all of these traumas up, and it turns into anxiety, stress, depression, anger. Oftentimes, you will see a black man overreact to a situation. You will say, man, that was small, that was minute, that was frivolous. Why did he do him like that? Why did he respond like that? Because he has this built up anxiety, this built up frustration, these traumas that he's been dealing with since he was a kid. But also being told that if you express that you need help, mental health, then you're less than a man, you're weak. And so black men tend to bottle up this stress, this anger, this anxiety, and it comes out. It rears its ugly head at the most inopportune times, and we end up in prison. I can sit here all day and talk about the prison yard and how ugly it is, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to stay focused because this channel is about prisons. I'm going to stay focused on that. Part 2 is coming up. But this channel is just not to entertain you or to glorify prisons, to glamorize them. There's nothing funny or pretty about it. People are dying out here on the street, and they're dying in prison. And there's nothing funny about that. And so my message naturally is to the people that needs to hear it the most. If I go to a hospital, I'm not so much concerned about the nurses. I'm concerned about the sick people in the hospital. If I go to a homeless shelter, I'm not concerned about the people that work there. I'm concerned about the homeless, the people who need my help the most. And since the black man is overrepresented in the penal system, he needs my help. And it's not enough for me to scare him with my prison stories as to why he should stay out of prison. Because no one wants to go to prison. The black man already wants to avoid prison. He doesn't want to go to prison. So me trying to scare him into not going will not suffice when there are rules and laws in place designed to put him in prison. So no matter how hard he wants to circumvent it, he has a whole machine designed to put him in prison. So I can scare him into not going, and he doesn't want to go, but if he does not recognize the pitfalls in this society, the traps that lead him to prison, he'll go anyway. As I told you before, I started when I was young with my criminal activity. I got shot with a 12-gauge shotgun when I was 12 years old. 12. Close range. I still have over 400 pellets in my left leg from the shotgun blast. I thought I had 50 or 60 pellets in my leg. But the doctor that testified in my trial testified that I had over 400 pellets in my leg. 2 of them have traveled to my heart over the years. They're sitting there right now. I was 12 years old. They thought I was going to die. What led to that? What then led me going to prison? That's what we need to address. That's the situation that needs to be addressed. Black men are being assaulted in this country, and we are fed up. And sometimes we act out in ways that's disadvantageous for us. And so my objective is to help everyone to avoid prison and to live a fulfilling life out here in society. But naturally, since my people are involved in a life and death struggle, I'm going to tailor my message towards them to let them know that their life does mean something. Their life is important. And that the penal system, the prison system, was designed with them in mind. Did you know? And most black people do know this because my people are extremely intelligent. That the police force derives from slave patrols. So back in slavery, you had slave patrols riding around keeping black men in check. If a black man would try to escape, the slave patrol would kill them, shoot them in the back, beat them in the back of the head as they're chasing them down. If they got caught stealing something, they would try to kill them. They would beat them. They wanted to beat them every day to rob them of their humanity and to have them believing that they were inferior and less than. This was the slave patrol's job, to keep the black man in check and under his thumb by any means necessary. Well, when slavery was so-called abolished, these slave patrols turned into the police force. This is literally the police force. They were first slave patrols. You wonder why the black man is running from the police and he gets shot in his back and he has no weapon. Because they are slave patrols. This is what they did during that time. These are the same people, just a different generation, but they have the same attitude. They have the same tactics. Slave patrols, now the police force. And so we're going to get into this. Listen, I'm going to end this video now because I want to stay focused on the prisons. I don't want to offend anyone that's here to listen about what happened in prison. This is what you're here for. And you may be saying now, man, I'm not here to hear about black men's traumas. Get the fuck out of here. Beat it. I don't need your subscription. I don't want it. You don't have to watch my show. I'm not here to pander or beg anyone for a subscription or a view. My show is not a pretty one. I don't have a fireplace in the background with a nice dim light, a big microphone right here, a big clear camera a la Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, brother, and some of these other shows. If you're here for entertainment, and if you're here to see graphics and special effects, go watch Oprah. Get the fuck off my channel. I don't care. I'm here to speak facts, to keep you out of prison. Listen to the content. Don't look at where I'm at. Listen to the content. Listen. And so we're going to get into it. And if this is not the channel for you, then change the channel. Go to some of these other channels that are talking about prisons, and these dudes are weak. They've been to a level 1 or a level 2 yard. And if they were on a level 4 yard, they made it by the skin of their teeth. I know them. I know some of them. I haven't watched any of their shows. But most of them wasn't nothing behind the wall. Your street reputation doesn't transfer behind the wall. Behind there, we don't give a fuck what you was doing on the street, how tough you were on the street. I'm going to get into that as well. We don't care about that behind those walls. And so you can go to their channel and listen to all the gory stories. But if you want to learn something and you want to keep your ass out of prison, then pay attention. I'll be back with the war stories. But we need to understand how we get to prison in the first place and how to circumvent these traps that a society that hates us has set for us. And if you think they don't hate you, it's only because you're brainwashed. Hell, what more proof do you need? And so that's my mission. Anyone who takes umbrage to the fact that I'm here to communicate my message to the people that need to hear it need to go elsewhere. So I just want to clear that situation up with Dubs and let my people know that we're going to start dealing with this trauma. And we're going to start asking these people to respect us as men in this society and behind those walls. But we're also going to say that we're going to ask you this. We've been asking for a long time. And if you don't want to give it, we're prepared to take it. We're prepared to take it because we fed up. But I want my people to stay out of prison. I want all people to stay out of prison. And there's a way to do that. It's a way that you fall into these traps that society has set for you. I need to break all of this down if you're going to avoid this prison system. And I will be breaking it down. But I promise you, my next video is coming up. High Desert Riots. Blacks and Whites. Part 2 / bloodshed. It's up next, people.